Hi, Dennis Kelleher, Better Markets. Thanks, Adam, for doing this, and Mr. Chairman, thanks for your remarks. Um, what always comes up, as Adam points out, is that the banks scream, well, you're not hurting us, you're going to cause us to reduce lending, which is going to hurt the economy. It's interesting, they never mention what really gets hurt is executive compensation, which is often driven by and amplified by leverage and lower capital. But leave that aside. One thing nobody talks about is the impact of not having capital. So if you had, I don't call it 20% capital before '08, and it prevented the '08 crash, and it avoided the catastrophic consequences, would we have been hurt by that capital increase before '08 versus what the devastating Great Recession afterwards? And more recently, at Silicon Valley Bank, no less an authority than Goldman Sachs said that there was going to be a GDP contraction or cost of about 0.6% of 0.6 of 1% as a result of a credit pullback because of the collapse of Silicon Valley Bank. And others have estimated up to 1%. So the cost of not having capital
Dennis,
seems to me to be never.
Pretend to put this as a question.
So I'd like to know, why do the regulators actually quantify the cost to Main Street and the economy of not having enough capital?
Thank you. Good question.
It's an important question, and it's a fair point to make. And, you're sort of trying to speculate on what would have been. But what we do know is the, cost. There have been estimates on the cost of the 2008 financial crisis, which was profound for the U.S. and global economy. If we could have even mitigated it, much less avoided it, the benefits in terms of economic growth, jobs, the well-being of people would have been dramatically impacted. And that's why you want to be thoughtful and forward-looking in establishing these standards, and particularly focused on the institutions that can have, the biggest impact on the stability of the system. And trying to do it in a thoughtful way, in a forward-looking way, and in a way that the institutions in this system can absorb is really what we're trying to do here. It's why I underscored at the beginning, it's an important initiative that we need to follow through on.